Hi guys, I wanted to get on here tonight and talk to you about grief and the loss of a loved one, and I hope I'm going to be able to get through this. I really have kind of wanted to do it, but kind of felt like I don't know if I can do it, to be honest. And tonight I'm like, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a go because it really needs to be talked about, I feel like. First of all, and I'm looking so like beef and buffy here in this big old hoodie. I can't stand it. But anyway, believe it or not, I am losing weight. I've been working out. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. But anyway, as most of you know, my papa died on, 1 week ago, December 28th, tomorrow. Here in a few hours, I guess. It'll be a week. And he was really sick. We knew that it was coming. He had been in hospice care for a while. He had Parkinson's disease. I can't really say it. And he had been, he was wheelchair bound for a while. And then he was bound to a bed. And so, he was a military guy. He was, always on the go, always out, going somewhere, doing something, and so he was not living the life, his life to his fullest. He hadn't for a while, and so a lot of times I was the picture of strength before he passed, and I would always say, it's gonna make me cry, I'm sorry. I would always say, I don't want him to go, but I know he would be pain-free. He would be, I hate the cliche of saying better off, but better off. And I know it wasn't the life he wanted to live. And so anyway, I was the picture of strong. I was, always saying that I was ready for him to be healed, and I knew his healing would not come here. And I think sometimes that's something we have to remember. Sometimes our loved one's healing is not going to come here, and we want it to, and we wish it would, and we know that God can do all things. We know He's all powerful. We know He's almighty, but it doesn't always mean that they're going to get their healing here. And that's difficult. That's hard to understand. It's hard to understand why people do get their healing here and why some people don't. But anyway, so he passed, and this is the first grandparent I've had pass. And you know, and I don't want to say this like I'm bragging. I'm very blessed. I know I'm very lucky. I'm 29 years old. I'll be 30 next month. And I've had all 4 of my grandparents, both sets on both sides, all my life. And I know that that is something that a lot of people do not have. And we all know they're getting older. We all know there's going to come a day. But at the same time, it's so hard to grasp, to wrap our minds around. We know that people die. We know that God gives and takes away. But it's hard. It's really difficult. And I'm not saying that if you have had loved ones pass that it's any easier to lose a loved one. Please do not get me wrong. But I'm just saying, I don't even know what to do. I'm trying really hard to hold it together here, because if I start sobbing, you're not going to be able to understand anything I say. So, I just want to get on here and say that you hear all the time that there's no right or wrong way to grieve. And I have found that to be super true in only a week's time. The day I got the phone call, like I said, we knew it was coming. We had been told that he would not live through the night. And so all the signs were there. I'm not going to give out any private info here, so I'm not going to get into that. But I will say that we knew it was time. We knew it was very close. And when I got the phone call, I wasn't surprised. I didn't go hysterical. I'm a panicker, so most of y'all know when I get a difficult phone call, I normally go hysterical. I did not go hysterical. Connor had a doctor appointment that day, and I couldn't cancel it. And I remember the night before, when they told us, hey, he probably will not live through the night, I told my mom, I was like, what do I need to do? Do I need to go to this appointment or not? And she's like, yeah, you still really need to go to this appointment, but it's because it's going to be less than 24-hour cancellation, and they're probably going to make you pay anyway. And Connor really needed to have his ears checked. It was to his ENT, and they are really hard to get into. Anyway, I know that's going to sound like a lot of excuses, but my mom told me, I really think you should still go to your appointment. And my dad agreed, of course. This is my dad's dad that passed. And so I went to my appointment. We got the phone call. And like I said, I didn't go crazy hysterical. And maybe that's wrong, but it just goes back to what I'm going to talk about here, which is there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and none of us grieve the same. And so I went about my day. And when I say went about my day, I went ahead and went to the appointment. I don't mean that I blocked it out or wasn't there for my family, or I went to the appointment and then I immediately went to my grandma's house and was there with my family. So it was really difficult to see everybody upset and sad, but I tried so hard to hold it together. And it's not that I'm ashamed to cry. It's not that I don't want to cry, but it's that I'm one of those criers that when I start, I quickly lose control, and it becomes hysterical, uncontrollable sobs. I have a hard time breathing when I do it. It's almost like a panic attack. I've had many panic attacks, and I never want to be thought as the person who makes things the Stephanie show. I never want to be thought as the person who gets so upset that we immediately have to come and comfort her. So I tried, and I know that's crazy thinking, but I tried really hard to hold it together. And so I did okay until I got home that night. And I lost my mind. I'll just put it that way. And so it was difficult. It's been difficult. One of the hardest things, and anybody would tell you this, is seeing your parent grieve. You know, I have all these years worth of memories with my papa, but my dad has like double that, you know, because he had him way before I had him. And so just to know that every single one of his childhood memories had him in it. I mean, from the time he can remember until now. And so it's just hard for me to even fathom losing a parent. And so it's been difficult to watch my dad and my uncle grieve. And so the days went on. I would do pretty good until I'm by myself. I don't really do good by myself right now. I don't really do good late at night, and I don't know if that's because late at night is normally when I'm by myself, because I'm on Christmas break right now from work, and so I've been staying up. My sleep schedule's totally flopped, and I've been staying up super late. So I like put Connor to bed, and then Jeremy goes to bed because he's going to work, and then I'm alone at night. So I don't know if that's why nighttime is harder. I don't know if that's when my mind starts thinking of all the memories, because a lot of times when I get upset and start crying, it's when you're thinking about your life with that loved one, when you're thinking about memories from when you were a kid, when you're thinking about all these fun, happy stories. And then you like can't even fathom that that person's gone. They're gone. You had them all these years and they're gone. And so anyway, there's been a lot of crying. And there's been a lot of laughing. We've, your family kind of bands together, and you tell stories, and you laugh, and you joke, and maybe you cry some too, but you laugh, and you joke, and it's like, for a second, it didn't happen, you know. It's like for a second you're there, and you're happy, and you're sharing memories, and it's like, for just a few minutes you forget, you know, and then reality hits because you're there with your family and someone's missing. And anyway, so that is grief. I have been exhausted. I have been so tired. And there was one morning I woke up and I didn't want to get out of bed. I wanted to just sleep. And I could feel the depression and the anxiety like sneaking in. And I thought, I just want to lay here all day. My heart hurts so bad, I don't want to get up. And I couldn't do that because I heard this little voice from across the hall holler, "Mama." And I knew that I had to get up. And so, depression is a real part of grief, but depression right now is not an option for me because I have a child who depends on me, and so he needs a happy mama. And so, I've been doing a lot of praying, I've been doing a lot of soul-searching, and so, Connor has really helped me get through this, in the sense of I have to get up and put one foot in front of the other. I have to get up and make him breakfast. I have to get up and give him a bath. I have to get him dressed. I have to help him brush his teeth. I have to change his diapers. I kind of have to go on. I don't have a choice. I don't have an option. I cannot fall into depression. I can't let myself do that. And also, my papa would be so mad if he knew I did. He always told us that he was ready to go home. In those last few weeks, he always told us that he was going to be just fine, that he was going to be with Jesus, and that he didn't want us crying, he didn't want us upset, that he lived a good 78 years, and that he was ready to go, that it was fine. And so that helps too, knowing that, and knowing that he's with Jesus, and knowing that there's no pain, there's no crying, there's no Parkinson's in heaven. And so that helps too, of course. And another thing about grieving is feeling angry. I have felt very, very angry. And I'm not saying that people who get mad at God are people who don't have a close-knit relationship with him. I'm not saying that at all. Please don't take this wrong. But I can totally see how people can get mad at God and can blame him almost and be super upset and mad at him, because I have felt that kind of in waves. I know that God's still good. I know that God was good to Papa. I know that he's faithful to our family, but there have been some moments where I'm like, why? My papa was a really good man, and he never, I'm not going to say he never did anything wrong, because we all sin, we are human beings, but he didn't do anything to deserve this. And one night, I was so upset. Hang on a second. Sorry. I hate when people blow their nose, but I had to, y'all. I was going to be snotting all over camera. I'm sorry. There was one night I was in the middle of my sobbing panic attack state, and I remember saying, and I will say that when I'm not saying everybody, but when I get into panic attack mode, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's almost like I can hear myself, but stuff's just popping out. I'm just saying stuff. And I remember saying, why? He never did anything to deserve this. And that's crazy talk. And I'm not mad at God. I know that God is good. I know that God takes people home, and that Papa is with him. He is finally pain-free. He is finally happy. And so I'm happy. I am. But there's those moments that grief brings that in. And for me to be able to sit here and tell you that I know that is totally ridiculous. That is a totally wrong way of thinking. There's no reason to be angry. There's no reason to. That goes to show you that it's grief. And you cannot control how your grief manifests. And it will manifest in different ways at different times. I can sit here right now and tell you I do not feel angry. But tomorrow I may be so mad I can't stand it. It's been a roller coaster. It really has. And it's only been a week, y'all. And so, I just want to get on here and talk about that. And if you have lost someone recently, or it don't even have to be recently, I assume I'm going to feel like this for a really long time. I just wanted to say that your feelings are valid, that you don't have anything to be ashamed of, that you don't have to feel bad for how you feel. And every day may be a different emotion. Every day may be a different side of grief, and that's okay. Sometimes a lot of times, like counselors and stuff will tell you the stages of grief, and there's all different stages, and you may feel like you're at stage 4 and you're thinking, hey, I'm about to come out of it because I've been through all this worse. And the next thing you know, you're like hopped back up on stage and having the feelings of stage 1. It's okay. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself feel the loss. I think it's important. I think it's natural. And I think it's the process. It's part of it. And so anyway, I just wanted to get on here. I didn't want to make this super long, but I just wanted to get in here and talk about that. And I think I did pretty good. I didn't lose my mind. But we miss Papa dearly. We are really sad. And there was a point yesterday. I was having one of my moments, and I was sobbing. And I remember, I was doing where I just say everything. And I remember saying, it hurts to breathe. It hurts to breathe. And it's just one of those really low moments. And I have those. They're going to come and they're going to happen. And there are days it hurts to breathe. It hurts too. And I've even felt this way also. It hurts to know that he died and that I'm living. It hurts. And please don't watch this and think that I'm like suicidal or anything crazy. I'm okay, y'all. I really am. But I'm just wanting to be honest about the stages of grief and where I'm at and what I'm feeling. And seriously, every day it's something different and something new. And I don't know where I'll be at tomorrow. But I know that although I don't know where I'll be at as far as my emotions, I know that I'll be here and I'll be putting one foot in front of the other, because that's what we gotta do. We gotta keep going for the rest of our families, for that loved one, for others who may be experiencing loss. And that's why I wanted to make this video for anybody who's going through it or has a parent or grandparent in foster care. Foster care. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I'm sorry. Or has a parent or grandparent, a family member in hospice care. I would love to talk to you. If you want me to pray for you, I would love to pray for you. Because so many people have prayed for me and I need your prayers. I'm having a really hard time. I don't understand. I can't fathom how to move forward. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. And I remember saying that one day too. I remember saying, how do I do this? I've never been through this. I don't know how to do this. And that's part of it too. Sitting there and thinking, how can I live a life without them? I can't fathom it. I can't do it. And so anyway, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that. And I wanted to tell you guys that Papa is healed. He is happy. He is whole. He's not, I don't even think about him walking. I think about him running. I think about him being able to do stuff that he hadn't been able to do in years. And that is what's getting me through. That is what's helping me. And I love you guys. And I appreciate you watching. And I'm sorry that I'm sitting here sobbing. And thank you to everybody. If you know me personally, thank you to everybody who came to his funeral and his receiving friends. There was so many people there, and it was so special. And he had a military funeral, and they played taps. It was just like they folded up the flag. They gave it to my grandma, and it was just one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced. And I know he would have loved that. And so, just thank you to everybody who has helped us, who is praying for us, who's been there for my family, my dad, my grandma, my uncle, my cousins, just all of us, please keep us in your prayers. We need you because it's something different every day. And grief is hard. There's no time frame on grief. There's plenty of books on grief, but at the same time, no one can tell you how to cope with it. No one can tell you how to get through it. I mean, they can tell you how to get through it, but no one can tell you personally what you need to do and how you need to feel. And so, guys, your feelings are valid. Let yourself feel those feelings. It's important. Let yourself cry. Let yourself break down. Let yourself scream. Let yourself be mad. Because your feelings are valid. And when you love someone so much, the hurt and the loss comes out in so many ways. Maybe you're distraught. Maybe you're numb. I really think when I got the phone call, I went immediately into numb. And I was numb for a while. And there's days I still feel numb. I feel like I'm going through the motions, like I'm not really living. I feel like I'm in a haze. And that's something too with grief. When you are deep in grief, you cannot think clearly. You're like in a haze, you're like in a fog, and I feel that way too. And just to know that that's normal and my feelings are valid, and it's okay. It's okay to be a Christian and to know that your loved one's in heaven and to know that God healed them and they are way happier now than when they were here. It's okay to know that and yet to wish they were still here. It's okay. It's okay to feel those feelings. It's okay to get mad and angry and still love Jesus. It's okay. It's just, you can't help it. It's just grief. It's just your love for them, like flowing out. And I shared this quote the other day, and I can't remember how it goes exactly, of course, but it says that to not be ashamed of your grief. Because when you love someone so much and you lose them, the last form of your love for them comes out in grief, and grief is the last way you can love them. And so I thought that was so beautiful, and it just struck home with me. And so I'm getting really long-winded, so I'm going to get off here, but thank you for being there for me. Papa gained his wings. He's not hurting. He's healed. He's happy. And although we're happy, we're hurting. We're really having a hard time right now. And so just continue to pray for us. And just thank you guys for watching.